Wrapping up a violent holiday weekend in Cleveland, 6 people were shot in 4 separate shootings since yesterday evening, including downtown, raising already growing concerns about safety in the city. Good morning, Cleveland's Josh Booth joins us live from the newsroom. And Josh, the latest shooting, someone died.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. That most recent incident was just this afternoon, actually. A man shot and killed. The 20-year-old man was gunned down on Bundy Drive off of Woodland Avenue near East 64th Street around 4:30. Witnesses say there may have been several shooters or an exchange of gunfire. Right now, police have no one in custody. Well, last night around 10:30, 3 men were shot outside Miss Martha's Bar on East 116th Street. The victims there were in line to purchase tickets to a party when 2 men approached them. Police say one of them pulled a gun and robbed the victims of money and a cell phone. Then he opened fire on the 3 men, shooting each of them before running off. Well, one of the victims managed to drive himself and his friends to University Hospital. And then another shooting just 20 minutes after that. A 42-year-old man walking near Scoville Avenue and East 64th Street when 2 men approached him and then one pointed a gun. That victim ran off. One robber shot him in the back as he was running away. Crews took the victim to Metro Health Medical Center. Now, anyone with information on these shootings, they're urged to call Cleveland Police. We'll have updates on this story on Good Morning Cleveland starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning. Live in the newsroom, Josh Booth, News Channel 5.
Besides the 3 shootings Josh just told us about, police are investigating another shooting that took place downtown. News Channel 5's Stephanie Ramirez went to the crime scene. It's the parking lot of the Crazy Horse Gentlemen's Club off East 13th.
The blue glove here shows where this incident occurred, an overnight shooting right outside the Crazy Horse. The owner now furious.
They definitely were not in the business.
Crazy Horse owner Al Spencer says the victim and suspect involved in the early morning shooting were not in his business. But police say a shooting did end in the parking lot. A 30-year-old man shot in the back as officers say he was headed to his truck. It's another weekend of violence in the downtown area that has many business owners upset, including Spencer.
Well, I'm upset that it's affiliated with a shooting because if it, not just specifically that it's a shooting anywhere in this area, in the downtown Cleveland area, that a shooting occurs, it's bad for Cleveland, it's bad for business.
2 weeks ago, West 6th Street and St. Clair Avenue saw a police-involved shooting, and a double shooting near Frankfort Avenue ended in the death of 1 person.
Don't you think about that now if you wanted to visit Chicago? You do, you think about it.
And Jerry Crush isn't even from here, which she tells us means she's thinking about it now in Cleveland.
You get away fine?
Like so many others, Jerry and Doug Crush are visiting, enjoying what downtown has to offer.
And we're going to walk back to the Playhouse to see the Book of Mormon.
Thousands more enjoyed another game downtown, many in town when the early morning shooting occurred.
People don't want to visit the city more if they have these shootings going on.
Says Checker Bar Ice Cream's Dave Khalil, who's right across the street from Crazy Horse, also noting downtown.
Definitely it's looking nicer.
We've got a dozen different projects opening up. We've got the convention center. The city of Cleveland does not need this mark.
Fortunately, the suspect did survive. Anyone with information, though, is asked to contact police. On your side downtown, Stephanie Ramirez, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. We now turn to your forecast. We're about to start a new work week, and meteorologist Jason Nicholas will tell us if it's going to get off to a good start.
Well, Michael, a few showers, even some thunder out there here this evening. A lot of thunder, Cleveland and east, as some storms rolled through here the last hour, hour and a half or so. Right now, they are moving off to the east. Let's take a look right now at the Power 5 Live Doppler Network. It is muggy. It's warm. Temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s, and we've got a little area of low pressure sitting and spinning through. So these showers and storms are actually lasting after sunset. Notice right now just some light rain from Cleveland to Solon. You can see those yellow flashes. That indicates where thunder has struck, or we have some lightning over the past half an hour or so from Middlefield back out of eastern Geauga County and even into portions of Ashtabula and Trumbull County as well. And then back off to the west, a few light showers, basically Sandusky to Mansfield. But we will notice more thunderstorms now from southern Canada sliding towards Lake Erie. So we could be dealing with these here through the overnight hours. We'll talk about how long this wet trend will last and when we'll finally dry things out. All that coming up. Michael.
All right, buddy, thank you very much. We're following new information about the deadly commercial plane crash in San Francisco. We just learned that the pilot in charge of landing the plane was in training, as this new video shows the moment of impact, the plane flipping before a burst of orange flames. All this as authorities are trying to determine if first responders may have accidentally killed one of the 2 victims. An emergency vehicle may have driven over one of the 2 16-year-old Chinese girls who died on the tarmac. More than 300 others survived the crash, but injuries range from minor to paralysis. ABC's Tom and Bradley has more from San Francisco.
We now know more about the final moments of Asiana Flight 214 just seconds before the jet crash landed at San Francisco's airport.
A call from one of the crew members to increase speed was made approximately 7 seconds prior to impact. The sound of the stick shaker occurs approximately 4 seconds prior to impact.
That sound is a warning going off in the control the pilot actually holds. It's shaking in his hand to indicate a stall. And then this.
A call to initiate a go-around occurred 1.5 seconds before impact.
This is the pilot saying abort the landing and go around and try again, but there was no second chance. Just instants later, the plane's tail slammed into the end of the runway, skidding across the tarmac before coming to a final stop. A look inside the plane shows mangled seats, open overhead bins, a twisted doorway. A chaotic nightmare facing passengers who'd only moments to scramble out of a plane that was bursting into flames and smoke.
Starting to hear see fire a lot more, smoke coming out, explosion coming out.
An 8-year-old son pleaded for his mother to jump out of the wrecked jet.
He's so brave. He told me, Mom, we must go out, and he ran out of the plane and he jumped down first.
And there are published reports out tonight that officials are trying to determine if one of the teenage girls who died was run over by an emergency vehicle. Tamon Bradley, ABC News, San Francisco.
In the event of a disaster like the plane crash in San Francisco happening here, precautions are in place to save as many lives as possible. For instance, Hopkins International Airport has an airport rescue firefighting unit, which is made up entirely of 65 fire paramedics. Hopkins also has emergency vehicles that can drive directly into flaming wreckage to extinguish chemical fires. Hopkins and local hospitals take part in drills that mimic a major disaster. University Hospitals even has a mass decontamination facility if people are sprayed with chemicals. UH and other hospitals work together on disaster plans.
Disaster plan that's both internal to the hospital for an internal disaster as well as external disasters like a plane crash. And these are simulated exercises where we actually have sometimes patients, volunteers who are dressed up to look like trauma victims. And we actually go through the process of sorting them, triaging them at the scene, and distributing them to the various hospitals.
Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital has the only pediatric level 1 trauma center in Northeast Ohio. Now stay with News Channel 5 for continuing coverage of the deadly plane crash in San Francisco. Good Morning Cleveland will have overnight developments starting at 4:30, followed by live coverage on Good Morning America at 7, and we'll have instant updates on NewsNet 5. And take a look at this surveillance photo. 3 people accused of stealing more than $2,000 worth of merchandise from the Wadsworth Walmart. Wadsworth police put these photos on their Facebook page. You can see 2 women pushing a cart of products. They say the theft happened on June 30th. The suspects drove off in a dark-colored minivan. Police say a man is also wanted. Anyone with information is asked to call the Wadsworth police. Well, News Channel 5 is committed to highlighting efforts to building better neighborhoods around Northeast Ohio. Since 1988, the Greater Cleveland Habitat for Humanity has made dreams come true for new homeowners. With the help of volunteers in town for a conference, News Channel 5's Bob Finner shows us how Habitat revitalized one Cleveland street today.
Today, Colfax Road in Cleveland got a makeover. Volunteers from Habitat for Humanity were joined by nationwide vendors in town for the 10th annual Safeguard Properties Training Conference to revitalize more than just the 6 future Habitat homes on the street.
With that size of a volunteer group, we could help existing homeowners doing some exterior repairs and various kind of improvements to their homes.
Colfax Road resident Ernest Smith got new steps for his back porch.
They call it the Forgotten Triangle, but it seems to me that we're not totally forgotten because somebody remembered this area.
Safeguard Properties is a Cleveland company that maintains and inspects properties nationwide for mortgage banks. Stepping in to help today was a natural fit.
Doing work on a property where people live and making lives better for them is absolutely, it fits right in with what we do.
I was born in this house. I raised my kids and my grandkids has been raised up in this house.
Sharon Owens loves to garden, but in February she had to have part of her right leg amputated due to an infection.
It's been a struggle ever since. because I've always been a person that was real active in the neighborhood and got up and did things, and I can't do it now.
Today, volunteers planted flowers and mulch in Sharon's yard. As president of the Colfax Club Street Committee, this neighborhood means everything to Sharon. She is grateful for the generosity of others.
I've been here all my life, and I really feel happy here.
In Cleveland, Bob Fenner, News Channel 5.
All right, Sharon hopes to be able to acquire one of the Habitat homes on the street for better mobility. She says it's important for her to remain a resident of Colfax Road, where she was born. All right, coming up, rush to the hospital. What we're learning about the condition of Teresa Hines Kerry. She is the wife of U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. Not what you paid for, why those hybrid cars may not be as fuel efficient as you're told they are.
And some thunder rolled through greater Cleveland this evening. You can still see it on the Power 5. Severe weather out towards Toledo and Findlay. We'll let you know how long this weather will last when we'll finally break out of it. All that coming up, my 7-day forecast, moments from now.
All right, back on the bike. We now know when disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong will be returning to racing.